Hello, my name is Hector Velazquez and welcome to GCSAA Inside the Shop. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about reel grinding. Now, we have a John Deere reel here, so we're going to be following John Deere's guidelines and procedures on how to grind their reel, okay? Now, we can pretty much safely say that any manufacturers of reel pretty much all go by the same guidelines, their philosophies or theories on how to grind a reel. So we're going to be spin grinding this reel, and then we're also going to be cutting a relief on each blade. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about why we do that and why it's so important. Now, we have a lot to cover, we have a lot to talk about, but where did the reel come from and who invented the reel? Let's find out. Okay, Edwin Beard Budding, he was an English engineer from Eastington Stroud. Now, he was the guy that first invented the lawnmower. Later on down the line, he was also credited with being the inventor of the adjustable spanner. All right, now we're going to remove the bed knife here real quick before we go with further inspections. All right, now I want to check the bearings on the rollers. I want to make sure there's no play in there. I also want to check the bearings on the reels. Make sure everything's nice and snug before we put this on the grinder. Now, one thing I do like to do, I'd like to maintain records of my reel diameters. I want to take measurements before and after a grind. So now it's time to throw this reel on the grinder. Now be sure to follow your OEM's specs and instructions on how to set up a reel. If your reel is equipped with any kind of brushes or groomers, be sure to disable those. All right, now the one thing we really want to do is we want to vertically square the reel to the machine. And this is what I'm doing here. And we also want to horizontally square up the reel on the machine. All right, now that we have our reel squared off, we're ready to spin grind. Now, what are the reasons for grinding? Well, this is right off of the John Deere's website on servicing this particular cutting unit. And here are their reasons that they give for grinding. To restore the cylindrical shape of a reel that has become cone shaped due to improper adjustment of the reel to bed knife clearance or worn reel bearings. To restore the edge when the grass is not being cut across the entire length of the bed knife, evidenced by streaks of grass left after the mower has passed, usually the results of nicked blades caused by hitting foreign objects in the grass. To restore the edge when the lack of frequent backlapping allowed the edge to be rounded beyond the capability of the backlapping procedure to restore the edge. And to restore the edge when the reel to bed knife clearance has been improperly adjusted. Okay, now that the spin grind process is finished, we're going to start our relief grind. And we just have to real quickly switch out the stone. On this particular grinder, this process doesn't take any more than 1 minute to do. Just a few minor adjustments, get our head rotated, our finger further indexing, and we're set to go. All right, so the big question, what are the reasons for relief grinding and is it necessary? Well, this is right out of John Deere's servicing a cutting unit on their website, and here's what it says. John Deere recommends relief grinding the reels after spin grinding for these reasons. Reduced blade contact area results in less friction, requiring less horsepower to drive the reel and increases fuel efficiency. It ensures longer wear life, less time is required to backlap. It reduces pulling and tearing of the grass as the unit gets dull by use, and provides an area for backlapping compound to be trapped more effectively backlapping reels. Relief grinding removes metal from the trailing edge of the blade, forming an angle or relief angle to reduce the contact area of the cutting edges. And as you can see here, we have a reel that's been spun ground and relief on each blade. All right, so there we have it. We have our reel freshly ground and ready to be set back up. I want to thank you for joining me here today on GCSAA Inside the Shop, where we're helping technicians one wrench at a time.